This was never supposed to be said out loud.
For years, the world believed one thing: that Prince Harry would stand by Meghan Markle through anything. The scandals, the royal estrangement, the relentless scrutiny. He remained her unwavering defender. Silent when accusations flew, protective in the face of every storm, unbreakable. But what he just revealed, it shatters that image. Because this time, Harry didn't hold back. He didn't deflect. He didn't rewrite the narrative. He exposed it. And the quiet admission at the end, it hints that the story we followed for so long might have been built on something far more fragile than we imagined. It started subtly, as these things often do. The world saw Harry and Meghan as the united front, the couple who defied tradition for love, who built a new life in California, away from the palace's grip. Harry, the prince who sacrificed his title, his family ties, his homeland, all for her. The narrative was clear. He was the hero, she the inspiration. Together, unbreakable against the world. But insiders report a shift. Not sudden, not explosive. A slow erosion, building over months. Whispers from those close to the Sussexes suggest Harry has been questioning things. Quietly at first, in private conversations, with trusted friends from his military days. Sources say he's been reflecting on the cost. Not just the public fallout, but the personal one. The identity he left behind. The man he used to be. And then, in a moment that caught even his supporters off guard, he broke his silence. It happened at a low-key charity event in New York last month, an intimate gathering focused on mental health and veteran support. No major press, no red carpet, just Harry speaking from the heart. Or so it seemed. The question came from the audience. How has stepping away from royal life truly changed you? Harry paused. Witnesses noticed his hands tighten slightly on the podium. His gaze drifted, just for a second. Then he exhaled, long and measured. I've learned that freedom isn't always what it appears, he said softly. Sometimes, the choices we make for love, they come with chains we didn't see coming. The room fell still. No one moved. No one breathed, it seemed. Those words hung there, heavy, unfiltered, unrehearsed, according to people in attendance. And in that silence, the implication landed like a quiet detonation. Freedom with chains. Choices for love. Everyone knew what, who, he meant. Social media ignited within hours. The clip spread like wildfire. Analysts slowed it down, frame by frame. Commentators dissected his tone, the hesitation in his voice. Psychologists pointed to the subtle signs, the averted eyes, the tightened jaw. Royal watchers, even those who had championed the couple, admitted it. This wasn't vague philosophy. This wasn't a general reflection. This was pointed, personal, and it challenged everything. Behind the scenes, sources say the fallout was immediate. Not public at first, but private, intense. Insiders close to the couple described tension mounting in Montecito. Meghan, ever the strategist, moved quickly. Calls to PR teams, urgent meetings, damage controls spun into action. But Harry, he didn't retract. He didn't clarify. For the first time, he let it stand. And that, sources whisper, was the real disruption. Because for years, Harry had been the shield, absorbing the criticism, deflecting the blame, allowing the narrative to frame him as the willing exile, the devoted husband who gave up everything without regret. But now, something had cracked. A realization, perhaps, that the freedom he chased had become a different kind of confinement, loyalty turning into obligation, identity fading under the weight of constant performance. Insiders report Harry has been withdrawing. More solo outings, fewer joint statements. He's been seen alone on long walks along the California coast, staring at the ocean, lost in thought. Friends say he's quieter these days, reflective. One former aide, speaking anonymously, described a recent conversation. Harry admitted feeling adrift. Like I've been playing a role for so long I forgot where it ends, he reportedly said. The aide paused when recounting it, noted how Harry's voice carried a weariness they'd never heard before. And Meghan? Sources say she's sensed the change. Tightened her approach. More oversight on projects. More control over messaging. But it's not working the way it once did. Because Harry's words that night, they opened a door. Supporters, even die-hard fans of the couple, are questioning now, posting analyses online, wondering if the fairy tale has fractures, if the united front was always as solid as it seemed. The psychological toll is evident. Loyalty, once Harry's strength, now feels like a burden. Control, woven into their shared story, starts to chafe. Identity loss, that's the core of it. Harry, the spare-turned rebel, now grappling with who he is without the crown, without the role. Pressure builds in subtle ways, not in shouts, but in silences, in unspoken expectations, in the way conversations trail off. Insiders hint at late-night discussions, Meghan pushing for unity, Harry seeking space. No dramatic fights, they say, just a growing distance, a slow unraveling. And as this plays out, the world watches, speculates. But Harry's silence-breaking moment, it wasn't just words, it was a signal. That the man who walked away for love might be reassessing the path, wondering if the chains of that choice are worth it. Sources close to the palace suggest quiet outreach, not official, not public, but tentative bridges. Old friends in the UK reaching back, family whispers perhaps, nothing confirmed, but the possibility lingers. What if this is the start? Of Harry reclaiming something lost? Of the narrative shifting once more? Not with fanfare, but with quiet truth. To understand how we got here, we have to go back further. Harry's life before Meghan was one of structured chaos. A prince in the shadow of his brother, bound by duty yet craving escape. The military gave him purpose, a taste of normalcy amid the pomp. Then came Meghan, the actress with a spark that ignited his rebellion. Their whirlwind romance was painted as destiny, a modern fairy tale defying the odds. But insiders now reveal early signs of strain. Even during the engagement, whispers circulated about clashing visions. Harry saw a partner in breaking free, Meghan, a platform for global influence. Sources say those differences were glossed over, buried under the glow of new love. Yet, as they stepped away from royal duties, the cracks began to form. The Megxit announcement shocked the world, but behind closed doors, it was Harry's decision that carried the weight. He believed he was protecting her from the institution's cruelty, echoing the pain of his mother's fate. But over time, that protection morphed into something else. A role that consumed him. In California, the couple built an empire. Netflix deals, podcasts, high-profile appearances. To the outside, it was triumph. But sources close to their inner circle paint a different picture. Harry, once the life of the party, grew increasingly isolated. Old friends drifted away, replaced by Meghan's Hollywood network. Insiders report he confided in a select few about feeling out of place in this new world. "It's all strategy and spotlight," one friend recalled him saying. "I miss the simplicity." The pressure mounted with each failed venture, the Spotify fallout, the Netflix projects that fizzled. Meghan thrived in the hustle, her ambition a driving force. Harry, however, began to question the cost to his soul. Psychologically, this is where the tension deepens. Experts suggest Harry may be experiencing a form of identity diffusion, where the self becomes subsumed in the relationship. Loyalty, a royal virtue, turned into a trap, binding him to a narrative not entirely his own. The New York event wasn't isolated. Sources say it followed weeks of introspection. Harry had been attending therapy sessions more frequently, delving into his past traumas. Witnesses at private gatherings noted his demeanor shifting, less the defiant rebel, more the contemplative man. One insider described a dinner where Harry spoke candidly about regret. Not for loving Meghan, but for the haste in severing ties. "I thought leaving would heal me," he reportedly mused. But wounds don't close in exile. These admissions, though private, leaked through trusted channels, fueling speculation. Supporters were stunned. They had bought into the empowered duo image. Now, online forums buzz with debates. Is Harry unhappy? Is the marriage cracking? The reactions vary. Some defend Meghan fiercely, accusing detractors of bias. Others see Harry's words as a cry for help, a subtle plea amid the glamour. Meghan's response, according to sources, has been calculated yet strained. She's ramped up solo projects, positioning herself as an independent force. But behind the scenes, the control tightens. Insiders report increased monitoring of Harry's communications, a fear that more unscripted moments could unravel their brand. This dynamic speaks to power themes. Who holds the reins in a partnership born of rebellion? Harry's admission hints at a power imbalance, where love's chains are forged from shared ambitions gone awry. The emotional tension simmers, not in grand confrontations, but in everyday silences. A missed glance, a conversation cut short. Sources whisper of nights where Harry retreats to his study, poring over old photos from his UK days, a quiet nostalgia creeping in. As the story unfolds, the unresolved questions multiply. Will Harry seek reconciliation with his family? Sources hint at discreet overtures, a birthday call to his father, a message to William through intermediaries. Nothing concrete, but the seeds are planted. Meanwhile, Meghan focuses on narrative management, launching initiatives that emphasize resilience. Yet, the audience's curiosity builds. What if Harry's chains refer not just to love, but to the commercial empire they've built? The deals that promised liberation but demanded perpetual performance. Insiders suggest Harry's next move could be pivotal, a book perhaps, or a solo interview where he speaks unfiltered. The pressure on their identity as a couple intensifies, loyalty tested against personal truth. In this slow-burn saga, the shifts and narrative gold. Harry's supporters, once vocal in their praise, now pause, reflecting on his words. The world believed in the unbreakable bond, but now doubts creep in. Is this the beginning of a separation or a rebirth? Sources say Harry feels the weight of lost heritage, missing the UK not just for himself, but for his children. The homeland he can't share without strings attached. This psychological layer adds depth: control versus autonomy, sacrifice versus self-preservation. As tensions mount, the story remains open-ended, a tapestry of hints and half-truths. And yet, the unfolding continues. Recent sightings show Harry at wellness retreats, alone, seeking clarity. Friends report him discussing reclaiming space, a subtle rebellion against the scripted life. Meghan, ever adaptive, pivots to philanthropy, but the strain shows in rare public slips, a tense smile, a hurried exit. Insiders warn that if Harry speaks again, the facade could crumble entirely. The power dynamics shift daily, loyalty fraying at the edges. What started as a fairy tale now feels like a cautionary tale of identity lost in love's shadow. The question lingers, unresolved. Can Harry break free from the chains he helped forge? Or will the narrative pull him back? As we watch, the tension builds, piece by piece, leaving us to wonder what's next in this royal unraveling. If this revelation leaves you questioning the story you've known, you're not alone. Hit like if it resonated, subscribe for more insights as this unfolds, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective adds to the narrative.